Hello, Brian Weeks here again with another MMCD contract consideration. This video clip will cover the topic of risk allocation. I plan to show you that part of the tendering process is about how risk is allocated, because prior to awarding a contract, the entire risk belongs to the owner. During tendering, the owner must choose how much of this risk it wishes to sell to the contractor. Make no mistake, transferring risk will have a cost. While there are times when an owner needs to transfer a lot of risk, this should not be the normal situation. At best, transferring too much risk will cause the project price to rise, perhaps to unacceptable levels. From my own experience, I can tell you the worst case for an owner is to go through the entire tendering process and find that not one contractor is willing to tender because the risk is too high. For more information on this topic, have a look at the MMCD video webinar on risk allocation. From my experience, some examples of additional risk transfer to the contractor are: number one, making the contractor responsible for price increases over a multi-year contract. Number two, requiring a fast-track schedule which has little room for unexpected situations, or imposing a very high daily penalty for late completion. Or number three, requiring the contractor to use owner-supplied materials, but keeping the contractor responsible for their quality. Under the MMCD documents philosophy, the standard documents minimize the amount of risk which is to be transferred. The author of the tender documents then chooses what additional risk is to be managed by the contractor and creates supplemental general conditions, specifications, or drawings to set out that additional risk. This method ensures that bidders can clearly see the additional risk imposed above the standard levels. What are the main tools that the MMCD uses to allocate and control the baseline risk? Use of a unit price contract is essential. Providing for quantity variation adjustments. Providing for adjustments for unknown conditions, including the discovery of unforeseen hazardous materials on the site. Providing a change order methodology which ensures payment issues will be settled. Limiting the involvement of the contract administrator in resolving disputes. So let's look at each of these. The use of the unit price contract is a major technique. The MMCD is a niche market contract. It's designed specifically for underground and at-grade municipal infrastructure. Thus, it anticipates there will be unknowable conditions at the time of tendering. For example, unknown geotechnical considerations, or incomplete or inaccurate record drawings of prior work. By using a unit price contract, the owner will pay only for the quantities of the various work components actually performed, even though those quantities may not be accurately determined prior to tendering. So what happens when the estimated quantity on the schedule of quantities and prices is significantly different from that encountered? Unless altered by the tender author, the contractor is expected to absorb any additional costs or enjoy any additional benefits within a plus or minus 15% range of the tendered quantity. If the actual quantity ends up outside this range, and if either party requests it, the pricing for the line item becomes subject to review. This review can adjust the pricing such that the average unit price for the quantity performed may be higher or lower than that tendered, depending on the circumstances. In this way, contractors can be protected from significant quantity variations that cost them additional money, and owners can be protected from providing windfall gains to contractors due to tendering errors or unbalanced bidding. For more information on this topic, have a look at the contract consideration video titled Quantity Variations. Because the MMCD anticipates concealed or unknown conditions, GC11 provides a protocol to handle them. The definition is pretty straightforward, the key being that the situation could not have been anticipated by bidders at the time of tendering. A situation meeting this definition entitles the contractor to some additional compensation. The extent of the compensation or time adjustment is determined by the circumstances and by the efforts which the contractor puts towards mitigating the owner's additional costs. The discovery of unexpected hazardous materials is a special case of concealed or unknown conditions. GC12 provides the protocol for handling this situation, as well as how payments are made and what indemnity protection is provided to the contractor who handles the situation properly, or provides significant penalties for one who does not. But GC12 is the fallback provision for an unexpected find of hazardous materials. It should not be relied upon if the owner anticipates this type of problem, as the rest of the standard documents do not have appropriate specifications for dealing with the many types of problems which may be encountered. The change order process recognizes that there is risk for both parties when the contract is to be altered. GC7 provides a process for obtaining quotations and for issuing change orders. But once a change order is issued, the contractor must comply without delay, even if the pricing or time adjustment has not yet been resolved. To avoid adding risk to the contractor as a result of this requirement, GC7 ensures that the contractor knows changes which have cost impacts will be paid, even if that must be done by force account, sometimes called time and materials, with all the extra paperwork that requires. Another risk-limiting technique we employ is the dispute resolution process. A major cause of problems with other contract documents has been the inability of a contractor to challenge a decision made by the owner's contract manager without going to court. The MMCD has a rigorous dispute resolution protocol in GC17 in which the contract administrator only makes the decision in the first instance. If either party disagrees with that decision, it may issue a dispute notice. Once this has occurred, the dispute will be resolved by others, not the superintendent and the contract administrator, who still have to continue to work together. Again, this helps a bidder have confidence that allegedly capricious or inaccurate decisions can be appealed within the contract process. So to summarize, initially, the owner owns all the risk and chooses how much to sell to the contractor. Number two, risk cost minimization can be attained by allocating risk components to the party best able to manage them. Number three, the mandatory use of supplementals to alter the risk profile is a clear signal to the bidders of a modified risk allocation. Number four, the MMCD includes a number of risk-limiting features so the bidders do not have to include an excessive risk premium. These include unit prices with quantity variation protection for both parties, protection against unknown conditions, protocols for handling change orders, limiting the contract administrator's authority in dispute resolution. I hope this has helped clarify this contract consideration. Please check our website for further assistance and to see what other topics are presented in this series. Thanks for watching.